What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. We're back at Copart here in Oklahoma City for another walk around. Let's jump into this video today and see what we find. We're going to take a quick break from the vehicles and we're going to kind of walk through all of these amazing motorcycles they've got out here. Now, I love riding motorcycles, guys. If you've been watching for any length of time, you know that as much as I love riding, I don't ever really get to anymore. In fact, I've got a 2022 Harley-Davidson Nightster that only has 55 or 60 miles on it. It's been in the service department for 2 months now, and I still don't have my bike. I'd love to have it because on a day like today, it's actually a really decent day for riding. And take a look at all of the bikes they've got out here. Anytime I walk through this place, it's one of two things happen. Either I see all the wrecks and it terrifies me to ride, or I see these wonderful bikes and I just want to get out and start riding again. Now, I'm definitely no bike expert. I know just enough about them to get me in trouble. I think that's what most people would say, and that's definitely my case. Here's what I do know. I just love bikes. I do. And not just bikes. Look over here. You got this little scooter. What is this, an old Honda? I don't even know. Yes, it is. Hey, I got it right. I'm proud of myself. That's an old Honda right there. Old Honda scooter. Man. And the mileage? Good Lord. Someone really put miles on this. 11,229 miles. You realize you could drive from like New York to California three times on a scooter. I couldn't imagine. No, I couldn't imagine. But anyway, if you're wondering, would I own something like this and ride it? Absolutely. If you guys have seen my grandfather's 1994 Jawa Babetta Sportline, I ride that. I do. I actually ride that. I don't ride it far. Its maximum speed is like 35 kilometers an hour. But I do ride it. If it's got wheels, I'll drive it. Okay? Period. So we're just going to take a quick walk around through here and look at some of the beautiful bikes, man. Some of them are wrecked pretty bad, and other ones are definitely fixable, and others, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with them at all. This one right here, though, I'm going to say that one's done. That's a wrap. Here's another scooter. Boy, what happened? What happened to this? Maybe it got stolen, or I'm not really sure. The handlebars are backwards. Yeah, I don't know. Here's another Honda. It says Sidewinder on the back. Ouch. See, it's wrecks like that I hate seeing them because it just makes me not want to ride. It makes me realize how dangerous it is. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter if you're a great rider or not. You could be the best motorcycle rider on the face of the planet. All the defensive riding skills, I should say, that one could ever have. And all it takes is one person to make a stupid mistake and take you out. And that's what terrifies me about bikes. I'm not saying that you shouldn't ride them. God, I love riding. I really do. But I've had a couple close calls myself. And it's terrifying because you realize how vulnerable you are on two wheels and how easy it is to get taken out by somebody that's just not paying attention. I had a close call one time from an old lady that obviously didn't see me. Like, she had no clue I was there. I was at a stoplight, and it wasn't pitch black, but it was getting dark. It was definitely just slightly after sunset, but it wasn't like pitch dark yet. And I was on a big bike. I mean, it's not as big as this, but it was a big bike. It was a 2021 Harley-Davidson Road King. Good size bike, and it was metallic paint. It has like crimson red pearl with like white. Beautiful bike. And I'm sitting at a stoplight, like I'm sitting just like this. I'm sitting at a stoplight and I'm in the left turn lane, and this lady is coming from the other direction. She's turning left. And you know how people cross the lines? Don't you hate that? Don't you hate when it sucks as a car when you're sitting in the turn lane, like a dedicated left turn lane, and a car comes across and just jumps across the lines at you, and you're just like, what are you even doing? Well, that's what this lady did. Yeah, and she almost hit me. I was blaring the horn, and then I was waddling that bike back. That bike weighed like 800 pounds, 700 or 800 pounds, something. I think it was 800 or 900 pounds. It was a heavy bike. I was waddling that thing backwards, trying to get out of her way while blaring the horn, and the old lady never saw me. Like, she never saw me at all. And I took that bike home, and I actually stopped riding it for quite a while. Oh my God. Yeah. I stopped riding for quite a while after that because I realized this lady's in a big old car. I'm on this bike. You know, she would have run me down and probably wouldn't have even had a clue that she'd ever hit me. She probably would have continued driving on. I know that was an isolated incident, but it's not the only incident that I faced on a motorcycle. I have many times almost crashed. One time I had a dog come after me. That was an interesting experience, and it's only happened once. And the problem is I got scared, and I freaked out, and I made bad decisions when that dog came up on me. Unfortunately, I had a stop sign, right? And I do typically obey the law. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but when it comes to traffic laws, I generally obey them most of the time. So I come to a complete stop, and that is when this dog sees me, and he comes after me, man, and I freaked, and I know better. I know better, but all I could see was this aggressive dog running at me. My legs are on the ground and exposed, and I'm on two wheels. So I hit the this is embarrassing, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. I hit the throttle and I start taking off, but man, that dog is just catching up. The problem with where I was is right in front of me was like close to a 90-degree turn. It was a sharp turn where you really need to be going slow to get around it without crashing. The dog was chasing me, and by the time I got up to that turn, I was so busy trying to go fast to get away from the dog, I almost crashed into, well, whatever, the weeds, the bushes out there, because I hit the throttle, man. I was trying to get that dog behind me. I could still see him, and I was spending too much time looking behind me and not enough time looking in front of me. And any of you that ride bikes, you know that that's not what you do. You don't ever look behind you if you can help it. You always need to be looking in the direction you want your bike to go. When you're turning, you want your head to follow the turn. Let's say you're on a bike and you're about to turn left. When you start moving to make that turn, you want your head to follow the exact direction of the bike that you want it to go. If you're riding and you start looking down, and that's a lot of rookies' mistakes, is they look down on the ground because they're freaking out, you know, they look down. You'll drop your bike. I'm telling you, it's dangerous, you know. So I made the mistake of spending too much time looking behind me, freaking out over the dog, not enough time looking in front of me. And by the time I got up to that corner, I almost lost it. You know, I did. I mean, I had to come to a stop. Thankfully, the Nightster is a relatively light bike. It weighs like 600 pounds. I was able to, you know, not drop it and hit the throttle and take off again and get away from that dog. But I understand very clearly how so many of these bikes end up here and in the condition they're in, because it doesn't take much. It just doesn't take much. It's dangerous, but at the same time, it's an experience that I just can't explain to you. If you've never ridden a bike, I don't know how to put it into words for you. But if you ever ride one, it changes your life. Like, and I'm not even joking. The amount of freedom, the wind blowing, just being on two wheels, not being cooped up and caged up in a car, it's like the ultimate freedom. But I'm telling you right now, man, there's a price to be paid for it. All right, moving on from motorcycles. Here we have a 2017 Lincoln Continental Black Label Edition. This is going to be a hail damaged car as well. And if you guys are tired of hail cars, well, drop a comment below and let me know. Unfortunately, being in Oklahoma, hail is just something that comes along with the territory. So a lot of the cars you're going to see out here are going to be hail damaged. And this one's pretty significant, guys. And it makes sense because, you know, instead of fixing it, well, it's out here for sale. So the damage is probably going to be pretty significant on these cars. And on this side, wow, it's really bad. The roof is just completely done. The sail panel here is, yeah, it's a wrap. This whole side of the car, the hood, this one took it really bad. And look at these scratches. That almost looks intentional. I guarantee you it is. It looks like somebody keyed. Yeah, somebody keyed that. It's scratched up here as well. That's not an accident. Somebody definitely cut up the car. Looks like they did it on the front too. Those are some oh wow, that's like a knife or a screwdriver. Look at that. Wow, man. And the bumper too, they went across the whole bumper. Yeah. So oh wow, up here too. I don't know how well that comes out on camera, but yeah, somebody somebody keyed the living hell out of it. Oh man, guys, I can't really explain to you why I love the Continental so much, but I have loved the Lincoln Continental from way back in the day. I think I had a 91 or something like that, man. It was a old school Continental. I loved that car. And Hale ended up getting it, unfortunately. Like I said, Oklahoma things. It was black, just like this, except it wasn't like this at all because it was old and it was kind of worn out by the time I got it. But still, it didn't stop me from really loving that car. It was a great riding car. I drove it to Indiana to visit my uncle on a couple of different occasions. Yeah, I really liked it. Really liked it. Let's see if this side looks any better. Well, no, it does, but you can see even this side caught hail damage as well. This is something you don't see very often. Normally, when you find a hail damaged car, one side takes all of the damage and the other side is usually unscathed. This side, man, it's beat up pretty bad too. Up here, over here, yeah, even right here, pretty big dents, like right there as well. Look at that. The entire car, like nothing came out unscathed on this one. So yeah, I don't know, guys. Obviously this is going to be an aluminum body. It's a big car too, man. I've never had the privilege of actually driving one of these. All I know is that I've wanted one for such a long time. 35,000 miles on the odometer. I don't know what engine it's got under the hood. I assume it's probably like a 2.7 EcoBoost. Maybe if you're really lucky, they'll give you a 3.5 liter. But I'm not gonna bet any money on that. I think it's probably a 2.7. Guaranteed it's an EcoBoost though. Has to be an EcoBoost. There's your gauge cluster. Looks like we got a flat tire. If we do, I missed it. Here's your infotainment screen. Boy, that takes a while, doesn't it? There we go. AC. Whoa, hey. Max AC. There we go. I mean, with 30,000 miles on it, I have no doubt that everything works. We definitely don't need heated seats. So you got, this is interesting. You got buttons for your climate control down here. Can we turn down that, there we go. You've got physical buttons for your climate control down here, and I really like that. I really appreciate that. I hate clunky screens, and I'll be the first to admit this screen sucks. This is not a very good screen. The resolution sucks. It's slow. Well, it's not that slow. Yeah, it's not that slow, but it's definitely a clunky screen. So I really do appreciate having the buttons down here to control your climate control and your audio sources, volume, tuning, and stuff like that. That's really important to me. I know that we're coming upon a time where physical buttons will become a thing of the past, and I'm not looking forward to that. I like having buttons. I'm just old school that way. What is this? Huh. Looks like a light of some sort. No, a battery. It's got a battery in it. I have no idea. Air conditioning is ice cold. Here's a... What is this? Gotta be careful touching stuff, man. You never know what's in these cars. You never really know what you're sticking your hands in. It's got the books, which is nice, in a nice leather-bound case. Yeah, guys, this is so nice. Wow, okay. Park, reverse, neutral drive. Put it in gear. Forwards. Yep. Backwards. We don't have a lot of room here, guys. Yep. That's as far as we can go either way. It's not giving us a lot of room here. Important window works. Oh, hey. Stop that. Express up and down. That window works. Okay. Up. Good Lord. And take a look at the seats. Like, you should be able to look at these seats and tell how comfortable they are. Look at all the individual bolsters that can be adjusted. It's nice, guys. I am telling you, I am as comfortable sitting in this Lincoln as I was in any of my Mercedes, including my S550, which was what, a W222. Yeah, I had a W222. And I'm telling you, and you're not going to believe me, but I'm telling you, this car is that comfortable. It is It is that comfortable. How much do these go for? I kind of want one now. I do. I don't want this one. Mainly because this is like a luxury car. You know what I mean? And although most cars I don't care about hail damage, if I'm buying something like this, I really prefer it to be I'd really prefer it to be a not hail damaged car. I'd like it to actually look like you would expect it to look. Look at that trunk. Look at that spare tire. Man. Oh yeah. Okay. I gotta stop, because if I don't, I'm gonna go home. I'm going to get on Carvana's website, and I'm going to buy one of these and end up paying 30% interest for the next 10 years. What's under the hood? I don't know. It looks like a naturally aspirated V6, which is what, a 3.3 liter? I would have thought these were EcoBoost. This does not look like an EcoBoost engine, guys. This looks like the basic V6. It is a 3.7. I'm sorry, not a 3.3. Yeah, 3.7, naturally aspirated, which, as much as I would really prefer the 3.5 twin turbo in something like this. You know, so you have all the get up and go that you could ever want. Honestly, the 3.7 is a great engine. Without twin turbos and all the complexities that go along with it, it's relatively easy to work on, still gives you decent power and fuel economy, and reliability, which is probably more important than anything else. Now, we're not actually taking any time to really look at this Chevy Impala, but it's interesting because it looks like this car literally ate dirt. I mean, I'm not sure what they ran into, but there are tree roots everywhere and just compacted dirt and mud. It almost looks like the thing went into a creek bed or something. Maybe a culvert or something after a storm. But yeah, I'm not sure that I've ever seen the front of a car so filled with mud, dirt, and tree limbs in my life. We're gonna walk around a little bit. We haven't done that in a while, so I figure we'll take up some time just walking through the yard together and seeing if we can find anything worth looking at. And if you see something that I missed that you just need to see, well, leave a comment below. Let me know, and I'll do my best to come and check it out if it's here the next time. And there's no guarantee, guys. These cars, they sell, good Lord. They probably sell at least 1,000 cars a week would be my guess. So you might see one here today, and it may not be here the next time. What I can't miss, though, is the G-Wagon sitting here. It still hasn't come up for auction. I had a lot of you say that I should buy it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm considering it, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to how much is it gonna go for, because, I mean, it's older, it's got quite a bit of damage, it's gonna need a bit of work, and I'm not paying $30,000 for a wrecked G-Wagon. I'm sorry, guys. No, I don't have any interest in spending $30,000 on an old, broken G-Wagon. In fact, really don't have any interest in spending 30 grand on a G-Wagon at all. I'm not obsessed with them. You know, I think they look all right. I would drive one if I could get one for a great price. But other than that, it's not one of those things where it's like, I've got to have it. Being completely honest, I would hunt myself down one of those new Continentals all day, every day, before I'd go trying to find a used broken G-Wagon for $30,000. Nope. No, thank you. I would ride around in that Lincoln all day long. In fact, you could tell I'm still thinking about it. I haven't stopped thinking about it since I got out of it. I just don't want that one. I want one, I'd take pea-size hail. I could live with that. I could live with pea-size hail damage. I just can't do the whole car. The whole car is just completely riddled in pretty major hail damage, and I don't want that. We're moving right along, guys. We're getting down to the end of this road that we're on. Ooh, a BMW i8. That screams thumbnail. Is this Rich's old car? Or was it JR's old car? Wait a minute. They both owned it. Rich owned it first, and it went to SEMA, and then JR ended up with it, and he got rid of it pretty quick. I've always wanted one, but I'm not going to lie to you. These things scare me, especially after I saw Sam Crack get one. The thing that Sam Crack's had a blown head gasket or a cracked head, and it wasn't even like that old. It didn't even have that many miles on it. And I was like, geez, man. Yeah, that was a cluster. That was an absolute cluster. I can't believe these things get forklifted. Obviously, it's got a what looks like kind of a satin wrap on it. It looks good. I'm not sure why the windows are stuck down, but that sucks. This is the convertible. It's the Roadster. Look at that. Exotic driver Roadster. Man, yeah, it was a beautiful car, wasn't it? Take a look at these wheels. Oh, yep. What size are these? They're absolutely insane. 295 25 ZR 22s, guys. Like, I gotta pull the camera back just to fit those wheels in. To put this into perspective, like, here's the palm of my hand. I barely cover up the center of the wheel. I mean, seriously, these are crazy. These are crazy. I love the color of the wrap, though. I mean, this is beautiful. Back here, oh man, yep, it's got some parts that come with it. This is a crying shame, is what it is. You know what? I'm gonna call Rich, and I'm gonna see if Rich is willing to work with me on putting this back together. I'm kidding. I can't afford this car, guys. Even wrecked, I can't afford this car. I know better. It doesn't look that bad. And you know, the great thing about these BMW i8s, and I learned this from watching Sam Crack and Rich rebuilds, is they're kind of like Legos, right? These cars, just the pieces kind of just bolt on, pop on, and pop off. And the one that Rich rebuilt, I think his was way worse than this. This does not look nearly as bad as his. You can see a few places in the aluminum here where, well, brackets have literally been just ripped completely out. You got a lot of broken plastics. But I mean, the great thing about plastic is it just unbolts and you can put new plastic on. Like right here, this looks like fiberglass, cracked and broken, this whole piece. But I mean, again, it unbolts and you can bolt it back on. I don't see really much damage back here to what appears to be like an aluminum frame, but it's also really hard to see. You really got to take all this off, get it apart. Obviously, you got some suspension damage back here. This very expensive wheel has taken some pretty nasty damage as well, but I bet you could still use it if you had to. Looks like the tire still has air in it. Yeah, she's a little rough. Can I get you? Oh, hold on. I'm trying to get you guys back here where we can maybe look at the suspension and just take a look. I can't see what you guys are seeing, so if you see anything, well, drop a comment below, because I sure don't see anything. This is the this is the gas tank that got bent pretty good too. Man, she's a little rough, guys, and unfortunately the inside has probably got a little moisture in it because we've had some pretty nasty rain. I don't see any blown bags anywhere. Seats and interior still look to be in really good shape. This is one I'd love to get in and see if we could, oh, well, I was hoping we could try to tape this back up, but the sticky is gone on all of this, guys. So I'm not going to try to get in this car. I'm not going to try to start it or anything like that. If I had the money for it, that would be a different story. I'd probably go inside and talk to the ladies in there, and I'll bet that they would let me, I mean, this isn't even stuck anymore. So you almost can get inside of it. Not quite, but enough to take a look at the interior. I'm going to put this on my watch list. I already know that this is way outside of my budget. And on top of that, parts for this thing are not going to be cheap. So that's going to be way outside of my budget as well. But there it is. It's a 2019 BMW i8 in this beautiful, beautiful blue. Whoever owned this car, gorgeous, man. Absolutely gorgeous. Super envious. And I'd be curious to see what you got after this, because this thing was absolutely sick. All right, moving on. I see a Hummer over here, and I always take the opportunity to stop and look at a Hummer. I love them. I really do. I have never had an H3, and I don't want one. Nor do I want a Chevy Colorado. And that is because I watched JR Go had to do, I think, a transmission and a transfer case in an H3, and no. No thank you. Oh, wow. Wow. Well, you know, this one just needs a little bit of body work, and it would probably be fine. Golly, man. Wow. Just take a minute to drink that up. That's... wow. Yeah, that's significant. That is significant. Continuing on our way, guys. I see an X4 over here. Oh, a nice little Honda. No. But an airbag's blown. No, we're going to skip on that one too. A 328, front end damage as well. Nope. How sad, man. These are great looking cars. That one, that looks like that hurt. A yellow Mustang V6. No thank you. I'm going to pass on that one too. I have enough Mustangs. I really don't think I want another one. I currently have 4 Mustangs, guys. I've got a 22 Mustang GT. And it's the premium package. There's a Maverick. I think that's a Maverick. Isn't that what they're called? These little truck things, aren't they called Mavericks? I've got an 89 Mustang LX 505 speed. I've got a 93 Mustang GT 505 speed. And I've got a 73 Mustang with a 351 Cleveland under the hood. A Lariat. I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I kind of like these little things. I really do. And it's a small truck, but there's just something about it. It's kind of adorable, I think. I like it. Yeah, I would probably drive one. Oh, a Toyota Sienna minivan with hail damage. These are actually kind of nice, guys. Unfortunately, this one's got pretty significant hail damage. But honestly, not bad. I'm also a sucker for minivans, and I don't know why. I've always kind of liked minivans. They're so big, you know, lots of room. They get relatively good fuel economy. Dead as a doornail. You know what? Scratch it. I don't want to take the time to mess with it. Let's continue on. See what else we can find out here. A King Ranch F-150, another F-150 XLT, a Silverado. I think we're running out of cars, guys. This is sad. Although I'll be the first to admit, the i8, yeah, that was just the highlight of my entire day. I've been here for 4 hours filming because I've got to get all these videos done. For Hanukkah, I'm going back to Indiana. So by the time all these videos are out, I've been long gone by the time you see these videos. So, yeah, I just got all this filming to get done in preparation for being able to spend some time for the holidays with my family back in Indiana at my uncle's house. So, yep, just one of those things. I kind of like this van, guys, and I don't want to. I know that these are just bad ideas. It's what, a GMC Savana? It says it's a pedal vehicle too, which means someone just got rid of it. It's a Regency, looks like a conversion edition. Or is it just a handicap conversion? Maybe it's a handicap conversion. Let's take a look at the inside. No. This is definitely not a handy... Well, yes it is. Yes it is. Look at that. It's got the lights, it's got the wood grain, and it's a handicap conversion. Wow. Man. This is... Oh, what happened? Somebody busted out the window. Look, the glass is all over the ground there. Oh, you can't get in. That sucks. Looks like it had a window in it. And then there's your Raycon wheelchair lift. This is not too shabby. What year is this? It's I can't see, a 2005. And like I said, it is a pedal vehicle. What's interesting though is you've got the doors on both sides, not limited to just the doors on the other side. You have both. You've got the chair back there that folds out. Usually those fold back kind of into a bed. There would have been seats in the middle had it not been for the wheelchair conversion, but seats are not hard to get. Like, boy, it's filthy in here though. It is. It's very, look at the carpet. I mean, it is very, very filthy in here. It doesn't smell too bad though. It doesn't smell too bad. I wonder how difficult it would be to get rid of the wheelchair conversion and actually put the factory seats back in it. What is all this? What is that? That's... okay. I'm not going to touch that. I don't know what that is. Look how thick the seats are though. Oh, they're comfortable. Yes, somebody left the ignition on. So, I would absolutely buy this. Looks like the calendar stopped in October of 2020. That was 2020 was an interesting year, that's for sure. Just makes you wonder, like, what happened. I gotta know if this runs. I have to. It's got hail damage, and I don't care. I'm sure this is like a 5.3. Good Lord, wouldn't it be awesome if this was like a 6.0? Let me put the hood latch, or the hood prop up real quick. There we go. And let's take a peek and see what engine it is. It is a 5.3. I figured it would be. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with a 5.3. They're good motors. Battery, also dated 2020. Positive, negative. Let me put a jump on it and let's see what it does. All right, we got the booster pack hooked up, and I notice right here, this is like your wheelchair breaker for that lift, and somebody has disconnected it. I don't know if you can see, but down there it is. Somebody has disconnected this from the circuit breaker, so probably something wrong with that wheelchair lift slash ramp anyway. Let's check the oil. It's got oil. Wait, where did you guys go? Hold on. There we go. Let me get you guys down here. There we go. Hopefully you can see it's got oil, and the oil looks pretty good. This is such a long dipstick, man. Like, this thing goes on for miles. Let's check the transmission fluid real fast. Take a quick peek. God, that's even longer. Wow. Oh, and I dropped it. Good Lord. This thing is, it's kind of wild. Hold on, let me put this back up here. Let's see if we, this is no good. Okay, I'm gonna put this back, guys. This is hard to deal with. This thing is ridiculously long. Like, wow. Okay, you need 2 people to check the transmission fluid on this. I'm not even joking. That is bad. But here you go. Here's the color of the transmission fluid right there. It's still relatively pink, so looks all right. That was not expected. All right, let's see what the miles are on this. 129. That's it. Well, it runs. Come on. Well, it did run. Let me get you guys down here just a little bit. There we go. 129,917. I'm having to feather the throttle to keep it running. It does not want to run. Oil pressure looks good. Fuel is completely empty. That's probably why it doesn't want to run. Yeah, it will not run unless you're feathering the throttle. There we go. There we go. Now, if I let off the throttle, no, it dies immediately. Very bizarre. But if I keep my foot on the throttle, it will stay running. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm surprised we don't have a check engine light on. E-brake seems to work. Oh, come on. Come on. Put it in gear. It goes into reverse. Drive. It moves forwards. That's all I'm going to be able to... Come on. No, it will not stay running on its own. It idles down way too much. I've got to keep my foot on it to keep it running. Let's see if the air conditioning works. I'm not expecting much, but it would be nice. Let's see if the important window works. Oh, I don't want to touch that, really. Well, the important window works. We know that the other window is missing, so it doesn't really matter. Radio? Radio works. Tow mode. Stay running. Stay running. As far as air conditioning, I don't think we have air conditioning. That's fine. I didn't expect it to work. Steering? Steering feels good. It just doesn't want to. It doesn't want to stay running. Looks like the remote keyless entry works as well. It may just need some fresh gas. Yeah, as soon as I take my foot off the gas, it dies. I'm going to set that e-brake back because that's the way Copart had it. Very bizarre, and even more bizarre that we don't have a check engine light. We have a, hold on, engine power reduced, check gauges, tow haul. I don't even see a check engine light, guys. Huh. Maybe that's what the reduced engine power is for. Okay, you know what? I'm a sucker for vans like this, guys. I really am. Take a look back there. Look at the lights. You take out that wheelchair lift and you put the captain's chairs back in here. This is honestly a pretty nice van. I don't know why it doesn't want to run, but the auxiliary fans in the back work. It's running with my foot off of the brake, off of the gas. It stayed running. It's running on its own. Look, I'm not touching it. There we go. Okay, I need this van. I don't know why, and I have no idea what I'm ever going to do with it, but you want to talk about a cruiser, guys. You want about something that you can take on a long trip and just relax in. Oh, this is it right here. Alternator is charging, so we can shut this off. Listen to it purr. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. It sure didn't want to run to begin with. It was fighting us tooth and nail. But the body looks really good. It does have some minor hail damage. It probably needs tires, but I mean, aside from that, the paint looks really good on this. And the back tires actually look good. It may only need a couple of front tires. Clean up the headlights. Yeah, I'd put front tires on it. How's the back? Let's just check. You know, they're in pretty decent shape. I'd probably just replace all of them though. Overall, not a bad looking van if you can get it for a decent price. Let's see if it'll go into gear now. It died. And the battery quit. So, well, there you have it. I don't know. What do you guys think of the old Regency, man? I love this style of van, and usually these are pretty expensive. So here it is. It actually ends in 19 hours. Minor dents and scratches, non-public. That means the general public cannot bid on it. I like that because I'm a dealer, and that means it's only between myself and other dealers. Here's the interesting thing. It does not show that it runs. Nope. So this is considered a non-runner, but we know that it runs. If I threw a bid on it, right now the current bid is $550. It ends in 19 hours. So this thing is almost over. Buy it now, $2,650. I'm honestly half tempted. Let's see if we can bid it up to let's do $1,050 just to see what happens. Come on. There we go. We're winning it for how much? $900. The problem is this is not a pure sale, guys. You see right there it says minimum bid. They're not going to let it go for $1,000. So that's something to think about. I could buy this now for $2,650, and quite honestly, it's probably worth every penny and more. So I pulled it up on Black Book Cherry just to get an idea of what wholesale value is on this, and it looks like this is a clean title. It's not salvaged or rebuilt or anything. And it says average condition wholesale is $33.25. Now here's the thing, they want like $2,600 for it. After fees, we're going to be well over $3,300 on this vehicle. Loan value is $4,675. So I mean, the thing is, like, this is an unknown. You know, this, we know that it runs, but we know that it doesn't want to stay running. We know that it needs tires. We know that it's probably going to need a battery. It's missing the seats, which is probably going to distract from the people that want to buy it. They're going to want it to have the seats. Close in 30 minutes. All right, thank you. It needs a window. And we don't know what condition the transmission is in. You know, the wheelchair lift, I guarantee you doesn't work. I promise you it doesn't work. That's why this is disconnected. All right, there's probably something electrical wrong, maybe a bad motor or something. So if I pay $2,600 plus maybe another $1,000 in fees, $3,600 for this thing, I mean, I'm sitting at wholesale value and I haven't even addressed anything, like nothing at all. So it's really hard for me to decide if this is something that I want to just wait for the auction and see what happens, and maybe I can win it for less, or if I should just hit the buy it now button and get it before somebody else does. Because I promise you, somebody's going to see this and they're going to hit the buy it now button and it's going to be gone. I guarantee you. So it's really tough to decide whether you should wait and bid or buy now and take it. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna get out of here, but I need your help. What should I do on the 2005 GMC Savana Regency conversion van? I've never had one. I've never had one. I've wanted one of these literally forever. And here we have one that looks like it was obviously owned by someone that was handicapped. So maybe it was somebody older who probably took good care of it. It looks like it does need some minor work, but this thing, I would almost put money on it that if you put a battery in it and you put some fresh gasoline in it, I'd almost bet money you could get in this thing and start cruising down the road like immediately. And I would hate to lose it when I could have it for like $3,500, $3,600 out the door. It could be mine right now. I don't want to overspend. So help me out. Drop a comment below and tell me if this is something I should get, if you would be interested in seeing it, or if we should leave it here. If you enjoyed today's video, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.